Alright guys, sorry for the bad lighting in today's video. It's a little late and I'm basically just recording myself during this talk, walking around my neighborhood, which is something I normally never really do. I go for runs sometimes, but never really just walks and talk. But anyways, we're doing that today. I don't care if I run into a neighbor, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. But anyways, today is day 6 of our exposure challenge, and we didn't really record it. I didn't really record it because the challenge for today was to visit my grandma and lead the conversation. That might seem like a really simple thing, but for whatever reason, Spanish and talking with my family is probably where my biggest weak area. So that's actually a pretty hard thing for me to do. But we did it, Don't get me wrong, I stuttered in some words here and there, but it's better than I've ever talked with my family. And I'm choosing to put myself in these situations, and it is working out for me. I might be going through a honeymoon period, a placebo effect, call it whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to be relentless with it, even when things get harder, because I know eventually things will get harder, as in my speech will get worse. Because stuttering, most people go through waves of fluency and disfluency, but it's all about trying to minimize the down and maximize the ups, and eventually it's up and down, but it's for the majority up, if that makes sense. Like a stock market, it's constantly up and down, but it can still be overall gaining, So that's my goal, to keep it in the up and up, basically. But yeah, very proud. I initiated conversations with my grandma, and it wasn't just my grandma. My grandma's house, my dad happened to be visiting as well, so he was there, and my auntie, so she was there. And yeah, in front of all of them, I interacted the most I ever have. I was making the conscious effort to do so, which I think is crucial. And yeah, man, I think as long as I keep that in my mind every single day, making the conscious effort to put myself in situations that I normally would run away from or try to avoid, I think I'm doing pretty good. And for example, one thing, I didn't record it at my grandma's house just because right now we kind of are going through some health issues with my grandma. This started 6 months ago, and we're at the end of it. Things are going very well now, so thankfully that should be over with. But I just didn't feel like recording that. But anyways, what was I saying? Okay, yeah, one example of how I acted differently around my family today. So usually whenever I stutter, my family, out of their natural instinct, kind of tries to help me out and guess the word I'm trying to say, or I'm blocking on, which that's something that I need to tell them respectfully not to do, because it's not helping me really. Because normally when they guess it right, I just say yes, and I just move on, but nobody's doing that for me out in the real world, so I can't rely on that. And today I remember my grandma was trying to guess one word that I was blocking on, and I kind of just ignored her. I could have taken the easy route and just said yes, but no, I made sure that I said the word. It's on me to say that word. I need to say that word. I'm not folding. I'm not backing down from anything. But yeah, man, it's crazy how such a like a minuscule problem to somebody can be such a huge deal to someone who stutters. But yeah, anyways, that was a absolute success. I was very happy with how everything went at my grandma's house. And then apart from that, I hung out with my friend Leo the rest of the day. We went to an auction for cars, then to his family's house. And man, everything was good. I did stutter. At his family's house, there was this one girl that I introduced myself to, or she asked me my name, and I blocked for a second. I said, Servando. And then she actually called me out on it, which has never happened to me before. And that's funny because, like, I feel that now that I'm putting myself through these tests, like life or God is sending them my way because I want them my way. And she told me, I forgot exactly her words, but she was like, "Do you not remember your name?" And I was like, "Nah, it's not that. I just stumble a little bit here and there." You know, I played it real cool. Like, I did not care. I didn't feel insecure about it, nothing. But yeah, man, I'm proud of that too. And let me see what else. Oh, the other day, I went to a client's house who I sold a car to, but I sold it with a check engine light. He was aware of it, but we worked out a deal. I told him I would go and fix it at his house, and that's what I want to do, right? But anyways, I had to do like phone calls back and forth with the mechanic, and normally that would be kind of like a high pressure situation where I have to call somebody on speaker in front of somebody else, explain the current situation, tell them all the details of what's going on, this and that. And I fucking knocked it out the park, man. The only part that I got stuck on was saying like the location, which was Plant City, Florida. And yeah, I had to like, I forgot the type of stutter I did, but I might have repeated I am in like that a good 3-4 times, but I fucking said it. I didn't feel any negative emotions about it, and that's it. I didn't look at it as a bad thing, and that's the only thing that matters. It's my relationship with myself and my stutter. Yeah, man, things are looking very promising. I cannot wait until the 30th day. I can't wait until the 100th day, because I'm never stopping this. I'm gonna continue expanding my comfort zone every single day. I'm going to continue going head on to any situation that makes me uncomfortable, not just speech related, anything. I heard this quote one time that went something like this: everybody gets 2 lives. The second one starts when you realize, or when you lose like all fucks to give of your first one, or whatever. Or maybe it was like the second one begins when you realize how short the first one is. I don't know. The point is, most people are not really living. You need to really start living. You gotta stop caring. Care about yourself, but not about what others think of yourself. If that makes sense. But all right, I'm pretty happy with this little video. think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Last thing I'll say, even though I'm making it seem like things are going damn near perfect, I wouldn't say it's that clear or that clean cut, whatever. Because I know deep down, engraved inside of me, I still have the fear of stuttering. I still naturally want to avoid these situations. But because I'm consciously keeping this mindset alive inside of me, I'm able to not let it control me, you know. But in my subconscious, I still have it very deeply engraved to avoid these situations, to try to hide my stutter. And a perfect example of this is I was at a car meet last weekend, and I ran into like a distant, or I saw at the corner of my eye, a very distant family member, Spanish speaking, of course, that I don't really have any relation with, because I left Cuba very young, and he was like a distant family member in Cuba, and he moved here. But man, as soon as I saw him, boom, my initial reaction, or my initial instinct was to not run into him, because if not, I would have to engage in Spanish and with somebody who, for some reason, family just triggers my stuttering so much. I don't get it. But yeah, and I was with others, friends of mine, and I just wanted to avoid the possibility of being around those friends and having to engage this person and stuttering. My first instinct was to walk away from that. And right now, literally, I don't know if it was obvious in video, but I saw my neighbor leave his house, and I instantly did a 180. So I didn't have to talk to the camera in front of him. But I caught myself, and I did a 180 again. And I purposely went in front of his house to purposely put myself in this situation. It's a non-stop battle. My conscious versus my subconscious. But eventually, my conscious will win. And you can apply that to anything in life. If I master this, I can apply it to anything in life. If you master a similar thing, you can apply it to anything in life, because anything is possible. But all right, guys, this is day 6. Thank you for hearing my little rant. Catch you guys tomorrow.